in my talk tomorrow, and it's entitled Trust at the Crossroads. I think we're all familiar with the issues that are going on out there. You know, we hear cries of fake news. Consumers exclaim that they have real and deep concerns about how their information is used, who's using their information, where's that information going, targeted ads, retargeted ads. There's the whole issue of brand safety, and there's even evidence that suggests that consumers respond better to advertisements or branded content in quote-unquote safe environments versus, say, more murky or unsavory environments. What they're doing there, I don't know, but apparently they like content better in an environment that's cleaner, or they respect it more, and that can lead to higher purchase intent and all those good things that marketers are looking at. The whole issue that we're looking at eMarketer is this broad issue of eroding trust. We see that with the government, we see that with all kinds of different institutions, but media has taken a big hit over the last couple of years. Certainly, Facebook has been in the headlines, and we have a lot of research data that suggests consumers are concerned. They're concerned about fake news. They're concerned about privacy and security, but it's not all just about Facebook. Essentially, all of media has been dragged into this. And there's one source that we found, Monmouth University, that found that 77% of consumers are concerned or believe that mainstream media regularly promote fake news, and 30% think they do it on a very regular basis.
So how are publishers, or how's the industry going to sort of change that perception if they can?
Yeah, well, it's in my mind, it's not about changing the perception as much as the reality. If you change the reality, then eventually you will change the perception. In my talk tomorrow, I'm not going to give too much attention to the broader things that are going on in the industry that we're all aware of. We're all familiar with the fact that in 10 days' time, GDPR in the EU will take hold. And we've seen the Facebook hearings with Congress, so that there may be some regulation coming afoot in the U.S. as well. We know that there's a ton of self-regulation that's going on with the big platforms. Facebook, Twitter, Google are all spending millions of dollars trying to clean up their acts, both through human labor and to vet things, and also to use technology, including artificial intelligence, to make sure that ads are only seen in the right environment, and that brands have a safe place to have their advertising material, and the consumers have their data protected, and that they're not seeing things they shouldn't be seeing or don't really want to be seeing.
So will things change in a realistic way? I mean, I know you're analyzing what's going on now, but what do you think could change? And how much are consumers' concerns creating that change?
Yeah, well, it's funny because there's paradoxes in all of this. Consumers will tell you that they're concerned about media in general with fake news. They will also tell you that they're even more concerned about information and ads that they see on social media. And there's lots of different supporting points for that. At the same time, consumers, according to Pew Internet Research and Life Project, will say that I think the figure is 2/3 of them, or 67%, get their news from social media. And that figure is as high as 78% among 18 to 49-year-olds, a prime target, right? And a quarter of them get their news from multiple social media sites. So that's where they're getting their news, and at the same time, they don't trust the news that they get on those big platforms. And the only way that we can figure out, to reconcile those things is they're just so addicted to the big media platforms, social media platforms, that they don't want to bother changing the privacy settings. They don't want to bother switching to going to the New York Times. Not that they don't go there at all. It's just that on a regular basis, they're more likely to go to Facebook than they are to go to traditional media. I think what will change is a function of government regulation, the big platforms taking upon themselves to clean up their acts, changing the reality, and then eventually the perception. But then I also identify a bunch of things that marketers can do to improve the situation, both for themselves and for consumers at large. And the first thing is not to bury your head in the sand and just wait for blockchain or GDPR, government regulation, to just magically fix itself. I think they need to do their own bit. And one of the things is a flight to safety. You know, there was a huge growth in programmatic buying. eMarketer's says that 83% of display ads, as an example, are bought programmatically today. That has some good news. It gets you scale. It helps you do audience-based targeting so you can reach people all across these different websites. At the same time, brands end up seeing their ads in all kinds of unsavory places. And so what's happening within programmatic is that marketers are saying, no, we want to put more of our money in direct buys as opposed to real-time bidding, and we want to be on private exchanges with premium partners as opposed to these more more open exchanges where it's kind of like the Wild Wild West. So marketers are slowly but surely putting their money where their mouth is. They're starting to invest on websites where they know that it's going to be a savory environment, and they're starting to delist or decrease their spending on websites that they either don't know or they know are not good environments for their ads. And then a second point there is that they're going to be starting to invest less in third-party data through Facebook and Google and so on, and try to have a more direct relationship with consumers with their own first-party data, because if you can control that data, then you can control the relationship with the customer.